Nation's #1 DJ, DJ Rockwell.
Yo, this is Apocalypse, the lyrical warner, hip-hop revelator. And you rockin' with the nation's #1 DJ, DJ Rockwell, you understand me?
Everybody, what's good? What's good? Let's get this party started quickly. I tell you what, welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show. I tell you, this is the best place to be right here, right now, the Rockwell Radio Show. What's good, people? I want to set the mood. I want to set the stage because you know why we're here. You know what we're going to do. You know what we're going to talk about. But tonight, I want to put y'all, I wish I had thought of this earlier, Dave, to make the background of barbershop. I wish I had a sound effect for the trimmers cutting the hair. Because tonight, it's just us kicking it in the barbershop talking hip hop. It's just us talking hip hop in the barbershop. But tonight, that barbershop happens to be the Rockwell Radio Show. Welcome. If you're new here, if you're not familiar with the Rockwell Radio Show at all, the Rockwell Radio Show is a video podcast that has now been on the air for 5 whole years. And what we've done is taken the two things that we love the most, the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and hip hop, and came up with a way to speak to God's people, that means you, about the subjects that move our generation, but powered by the teaching that can save our generation. And that's what the Rockwell Radio Show is all about. And before we get started, you know what we're about to do. Dave, go ahead and show them the rules of the Rockwell Radio Show, please. We need everybody to hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow, and above all, tag somebody because you know it's about to go down tonight here on the Rockwell Radio Show. And you know what else is cool? Not cool, but real cool. Did you know now we are broadcasting on all of the main streaming platforms everywhere you can hear podcasts? You can now hear the Rockwell Radio Show on iHeart, Podbean, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music. Go where we are. We'd love to have you. You can stream all of our audio-only podcasts there. While you're at work, while you're chilling, while you're doing whatever you do. But let's get into this, man. I got to do it. We're here to talk about our brother, lled Electronica, whom we are so proud. Y'all see I got on the t-shirt, NOI hip hop all day, every day. That's what we rep here on the Rockwell Radio Show. But when we talk about NOI hip hop, we're talking about artists, past, present, active, not, whatever the case may be, who are affiliated, followers, students of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, registered members of the Nation of Islam that do hip hop, that release rap records to impact the culture. And up comes along a brother named lled Elect out of New Orleans, who shocked the world when he started releasing records in the late 2000s. I know I'm going to get a copyright strike for this, but to set the mood of the discussion tonight, and tonight, y'all, we just talking hip hop. We just talking hip hop. But when this brother did this record right here,
When I was sleeping on the train, sleeping on Mesero Lab out in the rain.
What?
Without even a
sing
single
slice a pizza to my name. Too proud to beg for a change, mastering the pain. When New York niggas was calling Southern rappers lame. What? Dizzy spells, hear a little ring.
The voice of an angel telling me my name.
What?
Telling me that one day I'ma be a great name. Transforming with the Megatron dawn, spitting out flames.
Yo. When I don't know where you was when you heard that, but I know where I was when I heard that. When brother said those bars, I was like, he's from where? And I know no shade towards NO. Brother in 2009 introduced high science rap back to the game. This brother was the Southern version of Nas. This brother was Nas meets Cool G Rap meets Big Daddy Kane. We were blown. And then came the Disappearing Act. Then came the mystery. Then came the absence. But last week, after a 5-year hiatus, the brother came back with not one, not two, but 3 whole new projects. And tonight on the Rockwell Radio Show, we're gonna do what's called the bar exam. Well, what's the bar exam? The bar exam is when we're gonna take the lyrics of a song, a particular song, and put it on the screen and dissect it. We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty about what our brother Jay Elect was saying. But before I go any further, I'm going to welcome my co-host to the show. He's going to help me break this down all the way down. I don't do the show without my brother from the same mother, the producer of the Rockwell Radio Show, my brother and yours, Big Dave C.
Hey, hey, hey! Yo, what's up to the people, to the viewing audience of the Rockwell Radio Show? Thank you for tuning in.
Y'all know what to do. One more time, we need everybody to follow the rules of the Rockwell Radio Show. I got you. You want to get it? You do it. You go ahead. There we go. Hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, that like button, and tag somebody, because we're about to get into the dissection of Jay Electronica's new project. Man, most importantly, Dave, here's where I want to start. Again, I want to set the mood. We just kicking it. All of y'all at home, we kicking it. We're going to open the phone lines later, so we want you to kick it with us. We just kicking it at the barbershop. It's just us talking hip hop. So I want y'all to get comfortable, and this is for rap fans. And Dave, let me make it clear. This is for people who love the art of rap. This is for the people who want to see the art of rap come back to the foreground. That's why we're deciding to highlight this particular song.
For the listeners, you say?
Yo,
This is for
who
the
killed
listeners.
Michael Jackson? But Dave, the feedback and the critical analysis of this comeback has been crazy. And we're going to look at it. But first, let's go to the chat room and see who's in the house. I want to say what's up to my brother, Righteous by Nature. What's good, fam? Mark D already on my case. Salute to Mark D. Yo, Dave,
Yes, sir.
the critics have been writing already. And what I did, I decided, let's take a quick look at what the people are saying. Before we get into the analysis of what our brother put out there for the world to consume, let's look at some of the responses.
What you got for the show? What you got for the people?
Let's look at this, y'all. This is what they said. We'll start with what they said. We're going to go through a few tweets, text, posts by the people. One person, this brother named After Jenkins, Dave, he said, oh, you know what? I got to go all the way back. Let me go all the way back.
Run it back. Take it to the top.
Let me go all the way back. I want to go to the first one. That's one of the last ones. Let's start with this one. Freddie Kofi said this, y'all. Freddie Kofi said, amazing projects. I've heard some JE features, but never really listened to any of his actual albums. How, Freddie? How? I've gone back to listen to a few of his previous albums based on how great a written testimony is. I see why Kendrick loves this guy.
Freddie's a studier.
Okay, it's okay if you're late to the party, Freddie.
But that speaks to a particular mindset, I'll say. When you get introduced to one thing, or by whatever means you come across something, and it intrigues you so much that you start to do your research from there. History rewards its researcher.
Absolutely. Now let's get into the next joint. The next writer said, nah, Demoris, Mr. West. Mr. West said, nah, this ain't it. Dude got like 5 different religions as samples on the album. Then talking about the universe and stars and big words that you like, bro, I can't relate to any of this. I mess with Jay, but yeah, this is past the time of when it would have hit harder. This was, what do you think about this critique, Dave?
I mean, I get it. I get why someone would say that, but to me, this type of thinking is locked into expecting something to be what they expected to be and nothing else. It can never go nowhere else. They're keeping this artist locked in whatever box that they think they should stay locked in, and that's just not going to happen really with any real artist, in my opinion.
Come on, man. I can't say it any better. This brother, Ajamu Nkosi, says, people are so brainwashed by having the music industry, an industry we don't control, by the way. Jamu, you're right. Validate official releases, quote unquote, that they miss the fact that this brother has literally given away all of his music for free online for years. Fact, he's clearly not in it for the money. He has over 50 songs, the equivalent of 5 albums, online for free. So he hasn't missed any windows. Just enjoy the hip hop, art, and the bars that he drops. I think Ajamu was on it, man. And I saw this critique a lot. I saw, brother, absolutely, brother. Come on, man. I saw this critique a lot. So what I did is kind of pick the post that matched what a lot of the people were saying. I think most people know that the project is a good project, but they're like, yo, why did you roll out this way? So we're going to speak to that in some more of these responses. Now, this was one of my favorite ones. Okay. As a hip hop producer or former producer and DJ, this made sense to me. And I'm going to speak on this in a minute. My man, Glek5 said, no drums were harmed during the making of
No drums were harmed during the making of this music.
So now, can I go first on this one, Dave?
Please.
This particular response I got. And when I first wrote about the J-Elect project and gave it a brief overview, I said, as a writer, as a hip hop fan, it connects. But as a DJ, I'm handcuffed. Why? Because, and again, for the sake of this podcast, we're going to focus on leaflets. It was mostly drumless. And as a DJ, we look for the record that we can drop that's going to blow up the club, it's going to blow up the spot. And hip hop is driven by, obviously, the rhythmic cadence, the drum, the push, the 808, whatever the case may be, the boom bap, if you will. Jay stuff, that's not the approach he goes with.
But doesn't this open up a window for you to take the lyrics and put it on a beat, mix it with a beat?
Oh, DJs are gonna go bananas with being able to take his lyrics and throw it over various drums. Not that some of his other records don't have the drums, but DJs will sit and we listen for which one of these is the hit. Which one of these records I can play and tear the club out the frame or tear the spot out the frame. And it seems to me, brother don't approach record making like that. He's not here to entertain us.
No.
And that's the point that I made. I don't care if you Bobby. I got a message for y'all. Drums out of here. You might get a melody. You might get a harmony. What you say, Dave, to that?
That you get this every now and then with artists in different I want to say genres, but different types, different age groups of hip hop. Every now and then, where they're just going over a sample or a light melody, and the words are the focus. I'm starting to see a bit more of that, and it makes me think of some of my favorite artists from our time frame. That makes me sound so old. I'm thinking particularly about KRS-One. He's so lyric heavy with his stuff that I literally could listen to an album of him with no music. That's how dope he is lyrically. So I'm not mad at this at all, especially when your content, your subject matter is what it is with Jay Electronica. I ain't mad at that at all, because it's not just, he's saying some old BS. Not at all.
But while we're at it, let's take a quick look in the room. I see my brother Rashad Sharif in the building. Latrevious X in the building with us. Salute, welcome. Y'all hit that like button, y'all hit that share button as we keep going. Let's go to the next. Again, what we're doing right now at this juncture, y'all, we're just going through what the people are saying. What are the people saying? And then we're going to get into the meat of the podcast. This brother, Joey Silky Johnson, said, "Bro dropped Exhibit C when my son was born. My son is now halfway through high school, and Jay barely dropped a debut album." So I gotta release music on the schedule to entertain you.
Hey, but look who's still hanging on, who's following along all this path though.
Ding, ding, ding. You're still here, Joey.
We know you're a fan.
Come on, man. Come on. So I gotta release records to entertain you. What do I entertain you? Just funny to you.
I see Quasar checking in from that crew. Quasar checking in from SWAT down in ATL. I see you, my
SWAT
brother.
in the building. What's good, Quay?
Hashtag damn it, Quasar.
Come on now. now this one right here, this was a very interesting critique. And what we're doing right now, welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. We're gonna talk about Jay Elect's Leafless project. In particularly, this is the bar exam where we're going to examine the song Who Killed Michael Jackson. But first, before we get to that, we're just kind of putting our finger on the pulse of the people to see what the people had to say so far about this project. Devin, however you say, Devin Arias. Okay, Devin, various places. Okay, thank you for saying that. Few people have had such talent and mismanaged it constantly. Word. Seeing this post got me excited. Then seeing it's a 7-track EP just shows more decision making. Then putting Diddy in intro, insane. And then he goes as far as to tag Jay directly. Jay, your management team sucks, and you're low-key a effing idiot for a Diddy feature. Keep cutting yourself at the knees and then question why you can't move up the ladder. Man, how you feel about that particular reaction, Dave?
Again, Devin, various places. Seems like he doesn't want Jay Electronica to be in various places. He wants him to be in specific confines, in a specific box, and climb up this ladder to get to that destination that Devin, want him or thinks that he should be aspiring to go to. When you don't know Jay Electronica's assignment, you don't know what he's trying to do. So you can't say what he should do, what turn he should make. You should sit back and watch, and more importantly, study what he's putting out there. Look more carefully into his lyrics. You don't have his assignment, so how can you be so judgmental of what he's doing?
Devin went as far as to critique not just Jay, but his management team and his decision making. You know, Devin have the right to his opinion, obviously.
He does.
You know, but I think you framed it well, little bro, when you said, man, you're not in brother's mind. And it's like when you don't feed a fan regularly, and fans are so fickle. They're so, if you don't give me the same record, if you don't give me 5 albums of Exhibit A and Exhibit C, you fell off, you're whack.
And if you do give me 5 albums of Exhibit A and Exhibit C, why aren't you doing nothing new?
As an artist, it's difficult to win. It's difficult to win. Now, this next joint, look at this. This was almost funny, but I saw this a couple of times, which is why I chose it. Uncle Doc 23 said, he barely raps on the album. Farrakhan got more bars on the album than he does. I just felt that seemed, you know, that seems to fit on, you know, should go on the back of that.
As I shared with you earlier, he says, Uncle Doc, Farrakhan got more bars on the album than he does, and that's such an important and relevant statement. That's more relevant than you probably realize, Uncle Doc 23. Farrakhan really got all the bars on the album. What Brother J Electronica is saying is not something that he came up from his own mind. Oh yeah, Farrakhan got a lot of bars on there. I ain't mad at that.
That part. You know what? And like I said, bro, he's not here to entertain you. He's here to give you a message from the Messiah. Bottom line, like it or not. Like it or not. Dave, let's go to the chat section real quick. I want to put up what my man Latrevious X says. Abracadabra is one of the dopest joints on the joint. Facts.
I like that one too, yeah.
Yeah. Quay says, I'm one of those who are on the J Electoral College. My brother doing great work out here. I'm glad to be on the front line with him. All of SWAT is 100. That's absolute facts. Brother Quasar.
Come on.
My man Dwayne, who's in the building, Dwayne Muhammad said, many of us are surface dwellers. Unfortunately true. Unfortunately true. Let's keep moving. Let's get through this real quick, Dave. Corey McDaniel said, I love that he represents for his nation, the Nation of Islam. MGT GCC on the covers? What? Word? He's creative and just amazing.
He's tricking the brains, in my opinion, with that. What this statement very eloquently highlights. MGT GCC on the covers. He's making people look at our culture and say, what is that? Who are they? Where they come from? And you know the rest.
and this might be on a limb to say this. I don't know Jay's perspective on women. I don't hear him talk much about women on his records. But to put the MGTs in group fashion out front on the project, to me speaks volumes of his respect of the woman, or at least the MGT.
Yeah,
that's what that says to me, that he wants to show the world our best. And when it comes to culture, our women are the best. There is no black culture without our women. And that may be, and I'm speculating, that may be one of the motives for making that the cover of not one of his albums, but 2. Let's keep it moving, Dave. Now, we're going to close out the feedback with about these 2 last slides, y'all. Complex.com made this point on a headline the other day. They said J Electronica features Air Force vets UFO hearing testimony on the song Who Killed Michael Jackson, right?
Right.
And lo and behold, that's the song that I chose to discuss last week. And lo and behold, what happens? After Jenkins said, why they take Who Killed Michael Jackson off the album, off of Apple Music? That was the banger. It turned out after that song got taken down from all DSPs. That song got taken down from all streaming platforms, YouTube Music. Why? I could theorize. We could say what we think. It would only be opinion. It would only be conjecture. I found out this, Big Dave. I found out that the beat that he uses for Who Killed Michael Jackson is a YouTube beat called Low Vibe that you can find on YouTube. It's called Low Vibe. The exact same beat. He changes nothing about it. I also found out that a year ago that Kendrick Lamar rapped over that same beat on a joint called Untitled. So is it possible he just jacked the beat and, you know, he got a takedown request?
Could be. We don't know.
That's theory number one. Theory number two. The title. Is it possible that the Jackson estate said, nah, bro?
That's possible.
You know, we love you, Jay, but don't do that. Again, we're just theorizing. We don't know. We don't know why he got a request to pull it down. And y'all are welcome to theorize with us, you know. And again, in just a hot second, we're about to get into the song itself and go for lyric, ball for ball. And could it be also, Big Dave, the song features the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, as most of his records do?
Most do. Wouldn't make sense to me if they pulled it down for that, because you're not gonna catch some J Electronica music somewhere without the minister, and I'm thankful for that. So,
and also, he featured a lengthy excerpt of a Senate hearing of a former naval officer named Jeffrey Nuccetelli that aired just 2 weeks ago, giving a full detailed report on UAPs.
What did that guy say a few statements ago about time having passed for this, and you got J Electronica putting something that recent in his whole release? Try again, sir.
I mean, I don't have any more, but that's very interesting. These are all just theories, reasons of possibly why that record could have been pulled down off of the internet. But Dave, I'm ready to get into the record now. And let me tell everybody once again, welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show. This is an episode of our favorite thing to do is to do the bar exam, where we literally look at the rhymes and then we talk about what our brother said. So again, we want everybody to hit that like, hit that share button, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Matter of fact, everybody go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and tag a hip hop head. Tag somebody who has also been talking about this J Elect, because now we're at the point where we do the deep dive. Big Dave, let me turn down the music, because now we're about to get into it. Thank you, Sister T. Now we're about to get into it. So now I need everybody's attention. We're going to do something that has never been done, at least on the Rockwell Radio Show. We're going to play the record for you in a way that it can't be heard almost anywhere else. Almost in a way it can't be seen anywhere else. And then we're going to deep dive. Dave, I'm going to play it first through them, and then we're going to go back and do our commentary.
Yes, sir.
Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, here is the first verse from Who Killed Michael Jackson. Our brother J Electronica said this.
Rain coming like first things first. A good name is better than gold is. Every 50,000 years, a red and blue star appears in the heavens, showing that it's universal change. But every 25,000, we switch where the poles is. The Caucasian people lost 2,000 years in the Caucasus Mountains until we sent the Moses. And the number one reason that you need to know this is you got me all fucked up if you think I'm in showbiz. I'm an uptown get out that Magnolia. Ask the FOI about me. I'm a crack soldier. J Electronica, formerly known as Timothy. I used to shoot dice in Carrollton on the corner with Emily. These days I run with Christ and the Messiah. And I ain't Peter, but I leave your head and ears on the floor of the me. I don't even know what's going on no more. I'm just energy. I just been waiting and scraping and clawing and go at the enemy. So stand down, so stand down. Or man down, but then it's man down.
And I mean, if you want to kill me, I can't stop
man
you.
Down, man down, man
Help
down.
yourself.
On that particular record, he has a guest vocalist, a dude that drops the second verse. But we just wanted to focus on that verse. And what we're going to do in the second half after the commercial is go to our phone lines. We're going to put up the phone number, and get your comment on not only this track. We want to hear your feedback on what you thought about the entire project series. So now, Dave, let's go to what Jay said, piece for piece, and start going over this.
All right.
Let's start going over this. Let's
Coming like
first things first. A good name is better than gold is. Every 50,000 years, a red and blue star appears.
Stop. He said, first things first, a good name is better than gold.
You got a thought there?
I do.
What you got?
When a man talks about reputation, how are you working to protect your name? How are you working to make sure when people say your name that it's held in high honor? That people, as our dude from the Breakfast Club once said, put some respect on it.
Right.
Put some respect on it, you know? And then the very next line, 50,000 years, a red and blue what?
50,000 years, a red and blue star appears in the heavens, showing that it's universal change. But every 20.
What did the Honorable Blues Farrakhan tell us about that, Dave?
The little I can remember, shame on me, is every 50,000 years, the red star, the blue star appears, symbolizing a particular unity. You have to help me out. People in the chat, help us out with that one.
And this is a group effort, everybody. And Dave, you on it. And look at the timing. Look at where we are in time. As I looked at what Jay Elect said on this album, but in particularly on this song, it's not just what he said, it's when he said it. Look at where we are in the news. Look at where we are in this country. Look at what's going on around the world. The wars and rumors of wars. Look at what's happening in Gaza. Look what's happening with the racial tension and strife. We are now at the time of just that, universal change.
And that
keep going.
Makes me think of
5,000.
Go ahead, Dave.
You said universal change, and we're at the time of that change, and that makes me think again in the lessons about disappointment, dissatisfaction, bringing about change. Let it roll.
We switch where the poles is. The Caucasian people lost 2,000 years in the Caucasus Mountains until we sent the Moses. And the
Do we need to chop that, Dave?
What you got?
Here we are with a rap song that just told us the journey of the Caucasian in a rap song. The Caucasian people lost 2,000 years where?
In the Caucasus Mountains.
And we had to send who?
We had to send Moses.
Better known in the lessons as
Musa.
Isn't there a scripture that talks about that he lifted up the serpent to Moses?
In the wilderness.
Could that be relevant to that line?
People lost 2,000 years in the Caucasus Mountains until we sent them Moses. And
man, I don't want to get too. Why did Moses do that? Why did God have to send Musa to them for what? To do what?
John 3:14 and 15, where Jesus says, just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up.
Wow. Wow. Because the Caucasian has a role to play. He had a job to do.
the number one reason that you need to know this is you got me all fucked up if you think I'm in showbiz.
So all of this, what he's talking about, people that's, rap fans, hip hop fans listening for, something to get their head nodding, bobbing, dance to, you ain't getting that right here. You thought I was this, but no, you got me all confused, misconstrued. If you thought I'm here to be in showbiz, a part of this, what we don't control. I'm not here for that.
I got to call Chris Tucker to stand on this one. If you thought that I was here to entertain you,
hell no.
No. And I said it the other day in my post. I'm not here to make you shake and jiggle and check your behind in the clubs.
Yeah. Everybody else got that covered.
That's not what this guy's here for. And to me, the dopest part about it is there's a sacrifice involved. And I thought about this some more, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but when you make records commercially, when you sign one of the biggest rappers of the day, he's looking for a return on his investment.
Yep.
He's saying, damn that. I'm trying to save a people. I'm not here to make these people like me. At least that's what I'm got. Damn if I'm in showbiz. Hell no.
Hell no.
Man, go ahead. Keep going, brother.
I'm an uptown get out that Magnolia. Ask the FOI about me. I'm a crack soldier. J Electronica, formerly known as Timothy. I used to shoot dice in Carrollton on the corner with Emily.
You got something for that day before I go on?
My overall thought, which I'll hold for the completion of this verse. Go ahead.
I like that he tells his origin story in this verse. When people, because he said in the first half of that, he said, you can ask the FOI about me.
I'm a crack soldier.
I'm a crack soldier. But I came from Carrollton shooting dice on a corner.
Right.
That's the story of most FOI. That's the story of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's the story of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. That's the story of Malcolm X. That we all started somewhere. We were all in the mud. Yep. We were taught that the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was so far in the mud, only his what was showing?
His eyes. So far in the mud that only his eyes was showing. He was a wine bibber, as they said, as the minister teaches, as he taught of himself.
I think that bar shows his humility.
Yeah.
That, and there's going to be a lot of critique about, oh, well, Jay, he ain't living the life, all that. And we're going to talk about that. Matter of fact, let me do a quick commercial. On this upcoming Sunday, I've been honored to have been invited to a podcast panel discussion with our brother, student minister Willie Muhammad out of Mosque 46 on his Sunday podcast. And it will feature myself, brother Caleb Muhammad, artist, management, and hip hop connoisseur, and none other than our artist, Heck of a Mecca, one of the greatest of our time, will be on that panel discussion as well.
Nice.
That's Sunday. Look for the link. But let's keep going, Dave. We're almost done, y'all.
Days I run with Christ and the Messiah, and I ain't Peter, but I leave your head and ears on the floor of the me. I don't even know what's going on no more. I'm just energy. I just been waiting and scraping and clawing and go at the enemy. So stand.
Woo. Let me back that.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, bring it back a little bit to where he starts to reference Peter.
Let me back that up. This dude, in just this two or three lines, he says a mouthful. Have at it, Dave, if you want to.
I run with Christ and the Messiah. A lot of people naturally, we think and we read about what we, study about Jesus and his works 2,000 years ago. And we think about how we would love to have been with him in that time, what we would have done and how we would have acted. And it's easy to say those things looking back 2,000 years, looking in the past where you're safe and you don't have to suffer any of the things that he suffered. But if you are able to transpose those works over anybody in today doing those works, would you be able to walk with Christ and the Messiah? Would you be strong enough to do and say some of the things, or even agree with and repeat some of the things that Jesus says and does? Would you be that brave? You have to ask yourself that question. If it's somebody out there that, fits that image today, I'm just, but we don't do preaching. Hashtag Brother Jamil.
Shout out to you, right? And look at the next line. Then the next part of that phrase, but I ain't Peter.
However,
who was Peter? Man.
Jesus walked with some gangsters or Jesus had some hood dudes with him, man.
Man.
We romanticize so much about scripture, but it was brothers in the condition that we're in. So it was some hood dudes around the Messiah.
Again, I don't want to go so far. So I want to leave something for the people to talk about. I leave your head and ears on the floor of Gethsemane. I can't even say the word. And then I don't even know what's going on no more, he says. I'm just energy. I would love to hear y'all's take on that. I would love to hear what y'all got on that line. I'm just energy. And then he starts to go for the closer. I just been waiting and scraping and clawing to go at the enemy. What? I'll say this, David, I'm gonna let it go. Because we're gonna take a break and then get to the people. We're gonna take a break and get to the calls. Because I want to hear from them. I really, really do. How many people in hip hop talk about enemy as opposed to ops? When we hear about ops in modern hip hop, what is the vision that comes to your mind? As opposed to this context, when he talks about running with the Christ and the Messiah, and then clawing to get at the enemy, who is your enemy then if you hanging out with the Messiah and Christ? And how does that compare with who these other rap cats is calling their ops?
Ops, the enemy. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
In the words of Steve Chase, we are not alike.
We are not alike. This dude, man, is talking about I'm clawing, I'm waiting to get at him. And these comments talking about you not entertaining us. You stayed gone so long. And then he finishes out by saying this.
Man down, fucking this man down. Or man down, fucking this man down.
And I mean, if you want to kill me, I can't stop
Man
you.
down, man down.
If you
Help
want to
yourself.
kill me, I can't stop you. Are you kidding me, man?
He says, stand down. Stand down. That's just another way of saying, like the minister said, all you scared to death Negroes, sit down. Just sit down.
And what Lex the minister said, stop hiding behind, you come out and stop hiding behind your Negroes.
Right.
We are at the fight of the century, but yet we still got to deal with rap Negroes that and the fans that want to be entertained. See, and that's why my job is so hard. We have to figure out how to make this culture palatable. And this is where DJs find themselves at the crossroads. Most of those records, we really can't fit into a mix unless we remix it over a popular beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't make records for that format to me. You know, so I'm gonna be spending a lot of time. Okay, I gotta put these lyrics over. Okay, y'all gonna be, but y'all gonna be hearing what he's saying. And that's why NOI hip hop, ding, 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 is so important. Dave, closing words before we go to the break.
Get your books out, get your pens and paper out, and study, write down some of these lyrics that this brother is saying and go and look them up. Research or find or ask what parts, what lectures of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is he putting in here? Because man, what did he just say? You can kill me if you want. I can't stop you, but you're gonna be dead right after me.
If anybody knows the answer to that question, I believe I know, but I want to hear from you after the break. In that particular song, where did Jay lift that excerpt of the minister from? I think I know, but I want to hear from y'all. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. We're going to be right back.
What up with it, man? You already know what time it is. It's me, Young Kinda Don. I'm up in this thing.
This is Aziz, the kid Kareem, the life giving MC.
Greetings, everyone. This is Brother Anthony K. Muhammad, also known as A-Tone, the hip-hop historian.
Peace, family. What's going on? It's Brother Gabriel, Brother Mustafa, Lordship Productions in the building.
I am your sister, Arian Nicole. Peace, peace, peace. It's your sister, Sue Axel. You're watching the Rockwell Radio Show. You are now tuned in live to the Rockwell Radio Show. Right now, you're listening to Rockwell Radio Show.
Rockwell Radio. If you ain't listening, man, you wasting time. You on all these other stations, you need to tap in. Rockwell Radio.
You know what it is. Watch them, watch them, watch them.
I'm here with Brother Rockwell, the Rockwell Radio Show.
If you ain't in the game, you in the stand. Stop playing, man. Let's go.
When last time you bought a final call?
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, man. You see what I'm saying? We always want to stop. I mean, this is what I'm not doing. Yeah, everybody go buy a final call tomorrow. Everybody who watches it. The Muslims shouldn't have no papers in their hand tomorrow. Because you know what the Muslims gonna do with the money?
True.
They're gonna create other Muslims.
True.
You know what the Muslims gonna do? They're gonna keep your neighborhood safe. They're gonna show your little girl ain't nothing wrong with wearing a long dress. They're gonna teach your children they're the original people on earth. So you know what that little $2 gonna do. So go and spend that little $2.
True. True.
That's it.
True.
That's it. That's it.
Assalamu alaikum. This is your brother, Nuri Muhammad. And whenever I'm searching for a source or a platform that I can get some news that I can use, I look forward to and look at, watch and listen to the Rockwell Radio Show. And I hope you would do the same.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. We're back. We are back. This is your brother DJ Rockwell, host of the Rockwell Radio Show, and I am with my co-host and producer,
Big Dave C.
Man, and we have been peeling back the layers of J Electronica's "Who Killed Michael Jackson." What we didn't talk about, Dave, is that title. And
it's curious.
I think it's obvious, and we can all conclude the title had obviously nothing to do with the song.
That's my thought as well, but I hesitate to say that because until we get a statement from J Electronica, I don't know. Maybe it does.
You know, I would love to hear when we open up the phones. Matter of fact, the phone line's open right now. You can call us right now live at 449197399. And the topic is all of the above. The topic is all of the above. The song, the projects. What did you think about the projects? What did you think about the critique that the earlier people made? What do you think about the commentary that's been happening out there? Do you think that this project can have mainstream impact? What is your opinion of what our brother J Elect is giving to the world? Call us at 449197399. Now, I want to speak real quickly on this thought. And if you're not near a phone, you can also place your comment in the chat and we'll be happy to put it on the screen for you. Now, I said this while having this conversation earlier, Dave. He's communicating with us on two levels. If you go through the checklist, okay. I got a number coming in. I don't know who this is right here, though. That ain't the number I'm expecting.
But if that was somebody calling in to comment, call back and we'll know he was for real.
Okay. He can call it through another number. Call back there, brother. Here we go. Let's try it again. You are live on the Rockwell Radio Show. Who's speaking?
Yes, brother Travis.
Salam alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. How you doing, soldier?
I'm fine, black man. Brother, the floor is yours. Let's hear what you thought about the project or anything else you want to talk about.
Man, I just want to mention, man, our brother J Electronica is giving the people what we've learned from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and spreading it worldwide via the airwaves. You know, he's been able to reach the people that may not have knew about the teachings, right? And I love what he do. The bars are there. And man, all praise are due to Allah.
Come on, my brother. What did you think of the critiques that people are making of the project?
I honestly feel the critique is coming from a lack of art. You know, that's one thing that attracted me besides the teachings, right? Because when I was introduced to J Electronica, it was prior to me joining the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
So prior to me knowing the teaching. And it was the art, you know, samples, the way the way it dropped in, the way, I mean, just that style, whoa, it captured me. So I was like, all right, man, dope. And what he was spitting wasn't of today. So you're like, man, what is he talking about? And it makes you go research. You know, even if we look at the current chat we're speaking about, who killed Michael Jackson, if you've never watched a Congress, if to say briefing or meeting, you wouldn't know that gentleman, got the gentleman's name, but you would have never knew that he was in front of Congress and spoke about his testimony of seeing the mother will and the baby plane. So it's just beautiful what our brother's able to do on this style and on that level.
My brother, tell me what city and state you calling from.
Greenville, South Carolina. So
Greenville.
Man.
Come on, Greenville.
Brother, welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show family. Our home is your home. Stop by anytime, black man. He got that
brother,
radio.
Brother mentioned a lack of art.
I did. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
No, I just said, brother, our home is your home. And like Public Enemy said, welcome to the Terror Dome.
Yes, sir. Thank you, soldier. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, black man.
The brother mentioned,
go ahead, Dave.
A lack of art. And you know, when you see someone's presentation and you already have an idea in your mind of what a painting should look like or what a sculpture should look like, it should be this way. Why didn't he use this type of brush or this particular shade of paint? And you start to critique it with the format or the template that you have on your mind, and you miss a whole new presentation of art.
Wow. Wow, that's big, Dave. That's big. Our brother Rashad says this, and I think this is so key that he cites this lecture: The Crucifixion of Michael Jackson. I need everybody to go back and listen to that lecture by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and hold up what he says. And I did not think of that, Brother Rashad, until you put that up there, and hold that against this title. That is absolutely a great call. That's a great call. And like you just said, Dave, perhaps it's not just a throw left, because what I was going to say was throughout the album, he gives what appears to be disassociated titles to each song, but perhaps they're not after all. I was going to give the opinion that perhaps the brother was just having a dual conversation with us. He, on one track of the Leaflet albums, one is titled, "Is It Possible That the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is Still Physically Alive?" We all know that is a book from Brother Jabril Muhammad.
Shout out to Brother Jabril, may Allah be pleased.
Forever and ever.
Brother Minister Jabril Muhammad, pardon me.
Absolutely. And he's directing people to look at that while I'm rapping about this. So it's like he's giving you two things at the same time. Look at that, listen to this.
Man, that's something that's heavy on my mind. What you just said right there. Look at that, listen to this. And that's always going to take me back to what the Minister Farrakhan shared with us on his experience on the wheel, when he got to the point where he's telling us that a scroll came down in front of his face. He's trying to read it while he's hearing the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He's looking at the scroll, but he's hearing the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he doesn't get to finish reading what's on the scroll, but it's putting something in his mind while he's listening to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, where now we're years later, decades later, where it's still unfolding. Very, very triggering statement you made there. Thank you for that.
I want to add this to that statement, Big Dave. And again, for those who are just tuning in, you're watching the Rockwell Radio Show, and we have been pulling back the layers on J Electronica's new album or albums, but in particular, the focus has been on the song or the album Leaflets, and particularly the track "Who Killed Michael Jackson." I was going to point out, Dave, the release day or the date of that album. Right after the 40th year observation of this. Let me get the lighting right so y'all can see this. I'm getting a big glare. Can y'all see that? This issue I'm holding of the final call?
That's hard to see.
Because it's white. But it's the latest edition I'm holding. I'm trying to get, yes, it's the glare of the lights in the room is killing it. But I'm holding the latest edition of the final call. Yeah, I got to turn the lights down for this. He releases this series of projects starting on September the 18th, 19th, 20th, and so on. The day after the nation celebrates the 40th anniversary of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's More Than a Vision experience. And what is the significance of hip hop now having a conversation about UAPs? What is the significance of Jay Electronica more than any other rapper talking about this subject heavily on a lot of his projects and the way that he references it?
You can take that back to Outkast, ATLians. You could take that back to Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton, talking about spaceships, the mothership. It's been a theme in music, longer than I've been alive. I ain't that old, y'all. Don't be talking about me. But it's been there, and it's always been downplayed. I don't know if any other, genres of music, rock and roll, blues, whatever, has ever mentioned anything about spaceships and wheels and mother planes and motherships. Y'all have to educate me on that one, but it's been in Black culture. It's been there. And I'm thankful that, people like Jay Electronica keep it in the forefront.
How about that? That's a very good point. How long have we been hearing about Swing Down Sweet Chariot? And them singing about that in the slave fields.
Yeah, man, come on.
What is the significance of that? I would love for somebody to call in, give what they think about not only what we've been discussing, but your thoughts on the album in general, your thoughts on the track we're discussing, Who Killed Michael Jackson, what stood out to you, what was significant for you? Is this project significant for you, for the culture? What is the significance of him dropping this against Cardi B? And I'll get ready to shut down after this point, Dave. And I was having a conversation today about this. Here now is Cardi B, one of the most famous rappers now in the game, period, which has now released one of the most highly expected sophomore records in hip hop. Now, I haven't heard it yet, so I'm not here to opine about her album, but why did Jay decide? Because normally when you have a release schedule, you're looking around to see, okay, if you time it to drop it where it's not competing with any huge, competitor. It don't get no bigger than a competitor than Cardi B, so to speak.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because you got him all effed up if you think he's in the industry. He don't care about that. He's not here for that. I wish success to our sister Cardi B, but we got a job to do.
My man said, you gonna drop against Cardi B? Are you scared about that? Are you nervous?
Oh no, hell no, boy.
Come on, are you kidding me?
I'm not here to compete. I'm here to deliver a message.
Clearly. There's so much more to be said about this brother. What do you want to see? And we've all heard now him talk about on this album, 19 albums that he's turned in. And we've only received the first installment. I'm asking you at home, and I'm asking you this, Dave. I'm asking y'all at home to answer this. What does that mean for the culture, for the music, if we get now 16 more projects that sound like this? Does it oversaturate it? Or do you think the fan base is eagerly waiting 16 more projects like this?
I have a thought there, or a couple of things it makes me think about. It makes me think about, in our lessons, writing history 25,000 years in advance, writing history and walking into it.
Wow.
It makes me also think about, I remember some of the earlier episodes of The Time and What Must Be Done with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, talking about how he recorded the messages in advance, but they were still released on the weekly basis. And the things that he was talking about when they were released, although they were pre-recorded, were hitting right on time when they were released. That's the thoughts that come to my mind. If this brother didn't put out 19 or turned in 19 projects, what's going to happen with those time release medicine capsules?
Ooh, wow. Wow.
And what will he be up against as these types of discussions continue? And the hidden hand that is absolutely aware and watching, what will they try to do to stop it?
I have a thought on that too. If you continue to deliver, and again, we're just speculating because we know his release schedule. He likes to put these long gaps in between projects. But let's assume that it's actual facts. He already put it out, and now Jay just got to deliver it, or the company has to deliver it or set up a rollout schedule. Here we go. Now, if he delivers projects like this, I think it has the possibility to change the trajectory of hip hop altogether. Why do you say that, DJ Rockwell? Is it because it's going to be on the overground, smashing on the radio, killing the clubs? No. Because it's going to have the capability and the potential to change what the man on the street thinks. Hip hop is an underground format that has now been pimped by the foreground, the pop market. It's being pimped by major corporations. But what happens when you get the regular guy on the street talking about, when I was sleeping on the train, sleeping on Misro Ave out in the rain without a single slice of pizza to my name? What? When the 5%ers rolled up on it and informed them?
What's that? What does that mean? When you get what you think is the uneducated dude on the street, girl on the street, starting to ask, what do you mean by that? You got a problem. The enemy got a problem on their hands.
That makes rappers like Electronica, that makes rappers like the entire NOI hip hop network. Let me get it. The entire NOI hip hop network dangerous. I say this, David, I'm done. And I'll be done. And I want to say what's up to my sister Zaima in the building. Assalamu alaikum. My sister says, put it back in Dave, what's she saying? She says, hip hop is an underground format that is now pimped by the broader market. Sister, thank you for dropping by to see and visit your brothers. What does it mean when Black people realize that they have a connection to so-called UAPs? Dave, I want to finish with this. I want to play briefly an excerpt from what Jay played in that record. He played a part of a Senate hearing with, matter of fact, I'll let it speak for itself. I won't play all of it, but just listen to what he put in a hip hop record. Look what he put in a hip hop record.
Member Crockett and members of the task force for giving us the opportunity to testify today. My name is Jeffrey Nuccetelli. I'm a former military police officer with 16 years of active duty service in the U.S. Air Force. I'm here today because the American people have both the right and the responsibility to know the truth about unidentified aerial phenomenon. That truth remains hidden, classified and silenced by fear, retaliation, stigma, and confusion. Today, we are here to help break that silence. Between 2003 and 2005, 5 UAP incidents occurred at Vandenberg Air Force Base, home to the National Missile Defense Project, a top national security priority. At the time, we were conducting launches deemed by the National Reconnaissance Office as the most important in 25 years. These were historic launches. These facilities were vital, and they were repeatedly visited by UAP. Each incident was witnessed by multiple personnel, documented, investigated, and reported up the chain of command. We sent information up, but we got no guidance down on how to handle these events. I personally witnessed one of these events and investigated others as they occurred. 6 other service members have provided me with the information that I will share with you today.
Dave, what happens?
Coming like
What happens when the average man, Dave, starts talking about that kind of subject?
As Mr. Nuccetelli continues his statement, he talks about how these UAPs, UFOs performed and how they could do nothing about it. They could not respond. They did not know, could not think of what to do in this situation. And as he said in this clip, we sent information up. We got nothing down, no guidance down. So when as you said, the brother in the street, the hood brother, starts to discuss this, inquire about this, and learns that there's a connection between what's up there and us down here. And I'll answer that by saying what I said to you a few days ago with what Brother J Electronica presents here. This is Armageddon music. And that's what's going to be on the mind, in the forefront of the mind of the people in the streets, the little man, the quote unquote uneducated man in the street that the world has thrown away.
And now they see it's something out there that the biggest, baddest government can't mess with. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a real clip from only 2 weeks ago. A real hearing that you can go look up on YouTube yourself to hear the entirety of it. And he put that on a rap record? Why? We'll talk about it more this upcoming Sunday with my brother, Student Minister Willie, on his podcast called I Have a Testimony. Join us on I Have a Testimony, myself, Heck of a Mecca, Brother Caleb, and Student Minister Willie, as we peel back more layers of the new J Electronica. David, closing words.
Closing words again. This is Armageddon music. And Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said the Armageddon has begun.
I don't know no better way than to end it, my brother. Having said that, see y'all Sunday. Stay with us. This is the Rockwell Radio Show. And once again, we are out of here.
Now, if you got past all of that, you might as well keep on rocking with us. So come on, everybody, let's go. Let's go. Aha. Radio show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. Come on, Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. Rockwell Radio Show. That means you too. Rockwell Radio Show. Rockwell Radio Show. Come on, Rockwell Radio Show. Rockwell Radio Show, y'all. The Rockwell Radio Show. Rockwell Radio Show. The Rockwell Radio Show. Come on now, y'all. Yeah. It's a dope episode, man. Come on now. Stop tripping.